So exciting. Don't mind my burnt hand. But now before it starts. All right, then let's go out of it. Say that's connecting to Manchester Cathedral.
It's not saying anything.
Okay, so we got right here. Okay, that's it. See, it's connected right there with the little. All right, there we go.
We're good.
There we go again. So we're in a cathedral. It's actually very old, right? So it's going to be spotty, the Wi-Fi. And it is what it is. The good news is they're actually professionally filming this as well, and they're going to be posting it later on YouTube, so you can watch it there. But you're getting you're getting behind scenes right now. Oh, we're live everywhere. Yay! Like 9 different places.
Oh my God. Amazing.
Yeah. Instagram, YouTube, your group, Caroline's group.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Are you excited? I am.
Yeah,
You're excited in just a couple minutes.
I am. I'm like, I was hoping more of my voice as I come back, but I think it'll be fine. I've got a cold. That sucks. But yeah. So I just sound even more like a cartoon character. So it's okay. I'm going to get super squeaky. So it's okay.
Check out her stockings. Aren't they so cute?
Yeah.
I was thinking in the boots.
I guess it might be English thing. Difference between English and American. Tight stockings.
Oh, leggings.
Oh, leggings.
Leggings. Yes.
Right there.
Leggings. See, she's learning so much.
Hi everyone, I'm at FFB24 in Manchester, England, and you are actually in the backstage room. This is where all the big dogs are getting dressed and ready for the event. And these are some of our table toppers for tomorrow, and we're all packaged up, so don't tell anyone that you've seen it. The authors panel starts in about 5 minutes, and so I'm gonna be heading out there. You're gonna come with me, and you're gonna see the room, and we're gonna make our way up. We're gonna say hi to a couple people, and we're gonna make our way up to the podium, and we're gonna do this. I'm so excited. So my camera woman is Sandy. She's gonna be in the front. Hi. And you know me, Rebecca. And yeah, we're just gonna do it. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
So we're in Manchester Cathedral in Manchester, England. And there is a choir singing right next door. And we are live, right? You have viewers?
Viewers.
So make sure. Okay. Hi.
I am.
Oh, bless you, Sarah. What do you think of the venue?
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. We did a
Pan
test
around?
run about an hour earlier, and it was beautiful.
So, are you excited?
I am excited. I think I'm ready.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. I put a dress, so there you have it.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
Fabulous. We'll be talking in a second. Do you know where you're sitting?
No, but I'll go check that. Oh, yes. Oh,
And you need water. Oh, I probably should get some water. I wonder if Dale can grab me some. We'll ask him. All right, let's go. All right, so we're live, everybody, kind of everywhere.
Hello.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm in that Well, it should be a lot of fun. What we're going to do is the first story side generic questions and then we're going to have a list, and then the last I do is actually roll coming up next. Yeah, I know. I feel those. So, anyway. Oh my God, it's the Twisted Sisters. It's the Twisted Sisters. How is this my life? Like, how is it my life? I don't know. All right, okay, so let's see here. Let's keep walking. And we're going to be doing, okay, so there's Ryan Sachs. He's on the panel. He's got the gray hoodie on. Right here, Ryan Sachs. And he actually has a huge social media following. I can't remember which, I mean, you guys probably watching know. It's like, I mean, he's got like over 100,000 followers, I think. But he actually might be close to 1 million. He's got a lot of followers. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, there's Sarah Goodman. That's our Watson next to Sarah Goodman. I'm gonna have to go give her a big hug. Oh, and there's Blake Hudson. Oh, yeah. I got 1 minute. Someone was keeping my time for me. Are we there?
What's that?
Is it the 1 minute warning? This is Blake Hudson.
This is Blake Hudson.
And yeah, that's pretty much us all.
That's pretty much all it is.
Yeah, Hudson, Indiana. We kind of be close. Oh my gosh! Oh, it's doing great. It's wonderful. The curling iron one. Yeah. And I think I see Donna Grant back there too. We're doing a quick little say hi. We're like, hello, Maggie Brown. And we're about to do I don't know where I'm supposed to be, so I don't know whether I'm supposed to sit wherever you want to sit. I just see people I know and I'll go talk to them now. That sounds great. Have a good time. All right. See you. What's our time? How many?
What time you need?
We're late. We gotta go. All right. So it's time. So we're live streaming right now. Kind of everywhere. Guys, Donna Grant. I'm a super fan. We're fangirls.
I was on your street team like 12 years ago. And we'll talk later.
So, yay. So you excited for the panel?
I am very excited. First time in Manchester, first signing in England. So,
First time in Manchester, signing in England.
First signing in England. So very excited.
Awesome. We'll have fun. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, I think we probably should get going.
Yes.
All right. So you go ahead and take your seat, and I'm going to get moving. All right. Get going. Let me tell him at the front.
Okay, I'm watching until we get our seats. Should go sit. Just go a little pan.
Yeah, go.
Hi guys. Everybody watching. Rebecca will be up front in a second, so I'm going to take my seat, and then she'll be live. All these wonderful people. We're still going to be live for a second, folks, and then I'm going to turn the camera up the front because everything's about to get started. So bear with us. Everybody's filing in.
What do you say?
Well, I got Dale right behind, but you can come sit right beside me.
Oh, sorry.
Coming in. Oh, I have the lovely Caroline beside me. Hey, you were live. Say hello.
Oh,
hello. There's our hostess with the mostest right there. Give it another quick pan around the room while we're waiting. This cathedral is beautiful. Look up. We have Sarah Goodman.
Good evening. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the authors panel for FFB24. I don't know about y'all, but I am totally fangirling, and that's not just a pun because I am fangirl romance Rex. It's legitimately the truth. So if you don't know me, my name is Rebecca Dixon, and I am the founder of FanGrrrl
Romance Rex. We are a Facebook group of 45,000 people for urban fantasy, romantasy, and paranormal romance. And we also have a edgy contemporary romance group and also an authors group. And it's just kind of blown up from there. And last year I did this informally for staff. I went around and interviewed the authors and streamed live. And it was such a good time that they asked me back. And I just couldn't be, more happy about it. I'm just tickled pink. So thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome.
Disregard the hand. The curling iron won. So, but it is, we're here, we're good. It's not my main hand. So.
And I played Nurse Steph for the last few days.
She's been bandaging me and curling my hair and all kinds of things. So.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, all right. So what we're going to do tonight is we have 45 minutes. Can you hear me? Okay. We have 45 minutes. Thank you. Yeah, I was like kissing the mic before, but now I am. Where I have some general questions, and we're just going to go from left to right and let everyone answer the questions. And then we are going to take a break where you can go to the bar if you like. And the next 45 minutes is going to be, if anyone here would like to ask a question to these amazing authors, what we'll do is we'll have you line up right over here, and or maybe we'll come around this way since we have a camera there. Just come around here and you can ask your questions. So that is what we're doing tonight, and we're just very happy that we have you with us. So we'd like to start off with having everyone introduce themselves. So we're going to go from left to right. We want to know who you are. We want to know what genre you typically write and what series or book you're best known for. So let's kick off with Stephanie Hudson.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so I am the founder with my husband of FFB. I'm obviously, she's already said my name. I'm best known for Afterlife. Don't know, has anybody read it? I was really hoping for some sounds there. That would have looked really bad. So thank you very much for that. What else did you want me to do? Sorry.
What you're best known for, what genre you write.
Paranormal romance.
There we
go. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. You'll do better.
All right. And next we have the, can I just say it because it's what we all love to call you, the Twisted Sisters.
We are the Twisted Sisters. I am Susanne Valenti, and this is my sister. I'm Caroline Peckham. We write together. We write romantically and dark romance, some contemporary. Second one, Red Zodiac Academy. So we did that one. Is that it?
I think so.
That was it. I covered Caroline.
Brilliant. All right. Next, Ryan Stacks and S.R. Watson.
Yeah, so I'm Ryan Stacks.
And I'm S.R. Watson.
And we write together, so we write kind of a mixture of genres, nothing just like one specific one.
Yeah, so we write dark romance, we write new adult, contemporary, and some paranormal. And we're best known, I think right now, we're best known for our solace, but I think that our dark mafia romance that we just started writing probably is supersede that. So.
Hi, I'm Donna Grant. I write just about all genre of romance, but mostly it's paranormal and fantasy romance, and I'm most known for my Dragon Kings.
Awesome. Dragons. Woohoo! We love dragons.
I'm Jodi Malpas. I write many arms of romance, dark romance, contemporary romance, erotic.
You can say that louder here.
Okay. And I'm probably best known for, there's no probably about it, this man. Yeah, lovely to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, welcome. We're so glad that you're here. Okay, so our first question of the night is, when you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Is it always going to start with
Yep, I think so.
Fantastic. I'm so glad we found it that way. Ironically, when I was little, I'm dyslexic, so at a time where I couldn't read books, or I was still learning to read books, so I was probably about 6 or 7. I actually wanted to be a stand-up comedian. I know, yeah, ba-doom-tsh. So there we go. That's probably what I wanted to be. There we go. Awesome.
I wanted to be a lawyer. I don't think I'd have been good at it though. I wanted to be a vet, and then I realised you'd have to put animals down, and I was like, I'm not doing that. It's not for me. And then I ended up doing like zoology at uni. It's like a whole animal vibe for a while there. But that didn't work out.
Yeah, so I wanted to be a vet. Cancel the show, but no, I actually went to like vet programs, stuff like that. I did a lot of zoology stuff while I was like my early 20s, and then disaster happened. Let's just leave it there.
Really? So I actually, similar to one of the Twisted Sisters, I wanted to be a lawyer. I used to watch all the Matlock shows growing up, and got to college and actually took, a couple pre-law criminal justice classes and decided it wasn't for me. I went into nursing instead, so.
Well, I wanted to be a ballet dancer and actually got invited to come study at the Royal Ballet, but my parents wouldn't let me. So that went down.
I wanted to be a nurse, which is hilarious because I'm shit with blood. I accepted onto a course to train to become a nurse, and my mum and dad fell around laughing because I do actually pass out.
Okay, so the next question we have is, what inspired you to start writing?
I mean, funny enough, I've always had.
What was that, Blake Hudson? Tell the truth, says your hubby.
Why is he heckling me? Why is he allowed to heckle me?
Security!
No, I think, I've always had my head in the clouds, and, I was never very good at school, and, I just always was creating stories in my head, and it was just such a natural thing for me. But when I was at school, I kind of, because of my dyslexia, it was like, that will never happen, and it was only then later on and through the love of books that I was just, and I read one very popular book. Don't worry, nobody's here today who wrote it. But I won't name the book because I don't want to get slated. But I kind of got a bee in my body. It was the best thing that ever happened to me because I was kind of like, do you know what? I could do this. I could. I obviously didn't tell anybody that I could do it because I was like really nervous about it. But for me, that's kind of what started it. I would read and that would just feed my imagination. I'd be like, I really want to do this. So that was kind of my inspiration. So.
Very nice.
I don't know. I think I just forever have always made up stories for everything around me. So if I see a pigeon, you will have do this together. Yeah. That pigeon will have a name. It's probably Leroy. He has a family at home. He's just trying to feed them. He's not going to take much food home because he keeps eating it and he just can't help himself. He's got a chick in the nest who's looking out, wondering where his daddy is because he's a pigeon and he forgot where home is and got lost. And that's kind of, he's not coming home because a peregrine the fox is out here now. And he's hungry too. Yeah. And this is kind of how we vibe and what we've done growing up, making up stories with toys or just looking at the wildlife. And yeah, I don't know, it just got to a point where we started writing some of those things down. So probably just inspired by random things and everything in a chaotic kind of way.
So when do we get the next pigeon book? I'm just...
they are like they feature in all the books. You'll find a random, like all those funny main side characters, they'll probably have started off, they'll have been a squirrel in the garden or something, and then we're like, this has to happen, and then it goes down.
You mean like a bang? Like a gunshot? Please don't tell me the
the backstory for the squirrel who's out there. Well, we have these two pheasants that keep running around the garden at the moment, and one of them, like, he is a runner, and he just sprints around the garden for no real reason. I wouldn't be surprised if a character with similar pheasant-like attributes, he probably wouldn't be a pheasant in the book, but he might be a pheasant shifter, and he'll get in there because his story was.
We should do this. Yeah, all three of us. We'll write about the pheasant. No. We'll stick to what we do best.
So yeah.
I say no more.
Oh, sorry, the question. What inspired you to start writing? And let me just say for a second, 1 second, Ryan, because you actually have a presence on social media, a very big presence on social media, don't you?
My mom thinks so. That's about it.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that before you tell us what inspired you to start writing?
Oh yeah, so I do social media. It's like my main job now, besides writing books. Whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, I make screwball funny videos or relationship videos, type of thing. They're still kind of like quirky, but yes, I've done a lot of that.
And how many followers do you have?
It's like 5 million.
5 million followers. I know it's not book related, but I had to say something because I think we all can appreciate social media and what a beast it can be to get followers, and that is impressive. So
thank you.
Well done, for sure. Okay, so what inspired you to start writing?
So yes, I do a lot of that kind of stuff, and through that, I ended up doing working with some photographers that strictly did book covers, right? So I did a lot of like the modeling covers for a few years, from like 2014 to 17. And then
5, 6, 7, 8. Is there a 9? I don't know. They could all come knocking. The search history is always a little bit interesting, isn't it? It's hard to narrow down. I'd say the weirdest for me, that I googled back in the early days when this man exploded stateside, I found a lot of comments talking about foreskin.
Foreskin. Right. Okay. I'll man up and say it. Foreskin. Talking about foreskin.
There were a lot of readers that were really perturbed that Jessie had foreskin. I know. I found out in the States when a boy comes out, they whip it off. At birth. But here, you only have that done if there's a medical issue.
Right.
So from that point on, I never talked about foreskin. A lot of men.
We're learning tonight.
oh man.
Rebecca.
In charge.
Rebecca. Oh, I'm so sorry. My name is Rebecca.
Oh, your name is Rebecca?
Yeah.
Hi, Rebecca. It's good to meet you.
Ryan.
Real smooth.
I forgot to finish.
Oh,
I guess.
of course, please.
Now that it went on, I totally forgot we're supposed to talk about some specific thing. What I was going to say was I did have a conversation with a man, and he opened up, and he was like, I was like, yo, what was the craziest experience that you've ever had? He was like, well, I'm really into gothic girls. And he's like, and I took this gothic girl back home, and immediately she started slicing herself and started this blood play. So that was my introduction to learn what blood play was.
Right.
So we wrote about it.
Right, yeah. So blood play, for anyone who doesn't know, is in dark romance, typically.
It's in dark romance.
Dark romance. Yep.
Oh, it's great if you're a vampire.
Yeah,
I'm just a vampire.
I love that.
I do believe there are some in your books with Lucius. I do believe.
Maybe.
Yeah, just a little bit. So, okay. All right. So the next question we have is, if you could be best friends with any character from your books, who would it be and why?
I think everybody knows I'm going to pick Pip because she's probably my alter ego. So, yeah, Pip for me. Washer. Just feel like we'd have a lot of fun hanging out at the beach. And he'd clear an area, so I don't like to be too close to strangers. As we'd be friends, I'd just not look, and I'd be fine. So yeah.
I can't believe you didn't say Lionel. I was like,
oh, Lionel's well, yeah. Lionel, but I would be married to Lionel, and at the beach with Washer.
I would go for Leon, which
Yes.
because he's just so much fun and he's crazy, and I think like you wouldn't know where you're gonna end up at the end of the day if you went on a Leon adventure. So yeah.
I'd probably have to say Silas, probably just because that's the one character I guess I would relate most with.
And he's on a cover.
He's silent.
For me, I'll have to say Siobhan. Shiv. From Forbidden Attraction. It's one of the first books, and they kind of like, especially with your first books, you write what you know. And she's the most like me, right down to the soap making. So I'll say Shiv.
For me, it would be Ree. She's Faye. She's in all of my Dragon King's books, sorry. And she's a shopper. She loves to shop, which I do too. So I would love to do that.
I would pick. I've got my laughing under control. I actually prefer dogs to humans, no offense. So I would be friends with any of the doggy characters in my book. So Winston, Finton, Barbie. Oh, I love dogs. I'm mine. Me too.
I have 4.
Oh, well, I like them better than my kids as well.
It's okay. It's a safe space.
You're streaming this, aren't you?
Not so safe. Not so safe.
Okay, so what was your favorite book to read when you were a teenager, and how about now?
Oh. Right.
Tough one, because you guys write so much, right? It's
Yeah.
tough.
My favourite books were something called Point Horrors.
Oh my god, I was going to say that.
Really? Oh my god, I love them, right?
Every weekend in WX.
I used to save all my money and buy them.
The boyfriend.
Who here remembers Point Horrors? Put your hands up.
Oh my god.
Oh, only a few? I can't really see because the lights are...
We shouldn't have been reading them, really. I don't think they were children friendly, if I'm honest. But...
Yeah, they were quite dark, right? I mean, yeah. Anyway, them. And they were like, there was always like a romantic element to them, but there was always like kind of a who did it type thing. It really kept you guessing all the way through. So, yeah, there was that. And what was the other part of the question? What do I read now?
Now.
Well, my favourite book is, and this sounds so cheesy when I say it, but it's still Jane Eyre. Like, it's one of the reasons why Jane Eyre is in my book. It's kind of homage to that. But I think because it took me, being dyslexic, it took me so long to read that book and make sense of it. I was so proud of myself that it kind of became my favourite. It was like, yeah, so that's probably it. I'm fine reading it now, by the way, just in case.
As a teenager, so I was like Harry Potter age. I was like growing up with the book age characters. I think you were growing up with the film age.
Yeah, I was film age. Yeah, and I used to go at midnight to get the books.
Yeah. So and Twilight was the other Twilight era. Cassandra Clare, and I mean, I just read all the time constantly. And The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings were like, we read those by our dad when we were probably 5, 6. So that's all kind of what we were reading then. Now finding time to read is hard. I've just finished. Any of you had a Fourth Wing? Read that one?
Dragons.
Yes, Dragons. I'm reading the new Sarah J. Maas. I'm terrible at remembering names. The newest one. I'm reading that at the moment. I'm really loving that. So yeah, the kind of yeah, fantasy romance.
I don't want to be the same person, but I'm the same person.
This is probably not going to go well with this crowd, but when I was younger, I'm not even a teenager, but younger than that, I would probably read a lot more mystery, well, sci-fi mystery and fantasy. That was like my thing. Still is my thing. When it comes to movies.
We like that. We
yeah.
like sci-fi.
Oh, no. We're not there yet.
Oh.
But yeah, so sci-fi, anything paranormal, fantasy, not real life. That's my shit. But the last book I read, I was in 9th grade.
Sorry, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, so I actually haven't really read a book since high school. I can't tell you why. I've never met her. And she was like, hey, I want to put you on my book. Do you want to come check out like a signing or two with me? It'd be kind of fun to have you there. And I was like, sure. I had no clue about what romance books were, right? And so that was like my first kind of like toes in the water of this kind of like community and world. But, and then she was like, hey, I'd like for you to like help me write books. I want you to bring the male perspective out bigger than I can, and I'll write the female perspective, and we'll bring this duo. And I was like, I hate English class. So I like basically said no for like a whole year straight. As like every month she was like on me, come on, let's do it. So I finally gave in, and I was like, fine, I'll do one book with you. And I loved it. So after that, in 2017, we wrote our first book, and now we're 22 books in, and that's kind of the rest of history.
Yeah, awesome. That's awesome. Wow. And you're on a few of the covers.
A couple. If it looks like a guy with long hair.
And some tattoos.
Yeah, so yeah.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So actually, growing up, my dad was pretty strict, and kind of reading is all I had. I know some of you may be familiar, or may not be familiar with like the Sweet Valley series. So I read a lot of the Sweet Valley High, Sweet Valley University, and that was kind of my world. And so I decided to try to write books in, kind of middle school, high school, pen and paper. I cut out of my parents' JCPenney catalog, and that would be the characters. And so put it down for a little bit. And when I went out to college, and then when I had my own kiddos, my daughter, she had known when Twilight was huge. We got the Twilight books, and that kind of started me reading again with Twilight. It kind of got me back into reading. I was like, I want to give this another try. And so that's how I got back into reading and then writing with the Twilight series.
Well, my parents were both big readers, and they had a massive library with pretty much any genre you could think about. And they were like, read everything, whether it was erotic or not. I mean, it was crazy, the things we had in there. My first romance was 12 years old, which was entirely too young. But I knew then.
Not Fade to Black?
No. No, it was not. But yeah, I knew as soon as I read my romance, I was like, this is it. I love it. I read everything. And then it was, I'd read one and go, okay, but I think I could do not better, but different, And so I kept getting in trouble at school because I would have to write these papers, and middle of the way, I would create the story. And my teachers were like, do you want to write when you grow older? And I was like, no, I'm going to be a dancer. And then, here I am. So that's what started it all.
Oh, that's lovely. So I didn't become a nurse. I went to work for my father, who owns a construction business. which I expect is highly exciting for men, but utterly boring for women. I went to the office, it's a natural progression. I was bored out of my brain, and I started sneaky writing when I was supposed to be working. And yeah, it's boredom really. I had an imagination, and I wrote this man in complete secret, and I didn't tell anyone, and then I had to tell people because it sold a lot.
Very well.
I wrote that book. And yeah, and then I left Dad's company, and the rest is history, yeah. But yeah.
That's awesome. And so if I recall, I think you might have a little bit of blood in your books. Just a little bit?
Yeah, I can write about blood.
Yeah. Okay, all right, so this is a really good one. So when doing research for your books, what's the most bizarre thing you've learned? And by the way, we got all of these questions from all of the Facebook groups. I think we posted them like 5, 6, 7 groups. So these are all from fans.
What was it?
Oh, let me repeat the question. Repeating the question. Okay. When doing research for your books, what's the most bizarre thing you've learned?
That's hard to narrow down. I would probably say, and I haven't retained any of this information, but I think how to fly a plane was probably the hardest one. And I literally learned it and then instantly forgot it straight away. Otherwise, I don't think I'd ever get on the plane again. But I don't know. I research quite a lot of crazy stuff, especially if I'm writing a scene like about Pip or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's a hard one. I should have probably let you tell me these questions and what they were going to be before. I was just like, it's okay, I'll wing it. Well, that's working out for me. Anyway, yeah, probably I'll go with the plain one just because I can't narrow it down.
Nothing that we get the police knocking on your door, nothing like that.
Ooh.
Maybe that should be the question. What do you know?
Yes, I did do research at a sex club. That's probably one of the. I should have probably picked that over the plane. Yeah, I went to.
Slightly more interesting.
Yeah, it's slightly more interesting. I went to a place called the Torture Gardens. Oh, what a lovely, delightful place that is. And yeah, I did actual research at a sex club, which, yeah, that was an eye-opening experience, actually. So, yeah. There we go.
Righto, moving on.
Beat that, guys. I'm pretty confident I could get away with murder and dispose of bodies in lots of creative ways. And yeah, there's a lot of things like that I've researched and looked into. We wrote a Psycho series where that was just a part of their day-to-day job. And yeah, I'd say my search history is not looking great, if anyone wanted to check that. Sorry, I had a gangster character who threatened to tear this guy's mustache off and feed it to a starfish. And he had to follow through on that threat. So obviously I was like, would a starfish even do this? Like, you know, how carnivorous is a starfish? How hungry would they be for this mustache? So it turns out very. Yes, they will. They will eat.
Wow. Eat that!
Yeah, you guys are so screwed. You're not going to beat that. That starfish story was just brilliant.
I'm actually going to go for Ryan. I have to say, I found a lot of interesting things on Pornhub. You know, there's so many positions and so looking at
in the name of research.
In the name of research, obviously. Yeah. So a lot of interesting things to find on Pornhub. Also, looking when we were writing Silas, you know, learning about like some of the BDSM elements of thud and stinky and the different tools you use for spanking. That's pretty interesting. Try some Pornhub.
All right. So she likes to approach it with more of the typical school, get on the internet and learn. I'm kind of with Stephanie over here. I'm gonna get hands-on. I try to like the kind of the real feel aspect of it. So I've kind of like I've gone to like different places, talked to a lot of different people. I don't even know how many conversations I've straight up just been like to strangers like, yo, so like, what are you into? So like just to kind of learn like what their little kinks and fetishes and weird shit is, and we took I got some people to go to a sex club with us, and you just kind of like watch and learn from there. So does that answer the question? Okay.
Definitely answers the question. But do you tell these people that you're writing a book, or you just randomly ask?
This is a weird conversation.
Right then. Okay. All right, Donna.
I don't think I can go after that. Y'all should have gone last, for real. I mean, mine doesn't even touch that, but I mean, I think the worst thing or the craziest thing was when I thought it would be cool to have my heroine splunk, and excuse me.
Say it again. Flunking, cave is flunking.
Cave, yes, so it's called flunking, and I found that
What type of caves are you studying?
All the romance readers are there.
So good. Sorry, please ignore the mascot.
Your turn?
Yeah, it's my turn.
Yep.
The FBI, am I?
Read any other romance book besides the ones we wrote. It's fascinating.
Wow.
You're right, that did not go down well.
Security?
So, similar to what I've said in the previous question, growing up, I read a lot of the Sweet Valley High series with Jessica and Elizabeth with Sweet Valley High and Sweet Valley University, some Twilight, and I would say now I don't really have a favorite. I will say that getting back into reading, you guys, with Erica with the whole 50 Shades and kind of that opened the doors, and so I've read that. Not really say a favorite, but I've read a lot of like Rena Kent, Sophia Lark, Chantel Tansier, anything dark and kinky, that's kind of my jam. But not really a favorite. I'm currently reading, I would say, with Penelope Ward, The Surrogate.
So when I was a teenager, like I said, I started reading romances at 12. So anything by Joanna Lindsay, I devoured.
Yes.
Now I would say my favorite, which is going to be funny to my daughter because she turned me on to him, is Lee Bardugo's Ninth House. The second one, Ninth House and then Hellcat.
You're welcome.
So as a teenager, I went horror. There were fond days with my pocket money going into the basement and buying the next one in the series. Not quite as bad as him, but I haven't read a book by someone else for 6 months. Simply, I know, because my deadlines have just been so disgusting. And every working hour has been spent writing, proofreading, editing. And I really struggle to read when I'm focusing on my own words. So, yeah, but I'm a bit of a mixed bag. I love a bit of everything. My ultimate all-time favourite book is actually The Da Vinci Code.
Really?
That book absolutely consumed me. I'm a massive history buff. I love history, everything about it. And that man's brain just blew my mind, how he wove that story with such rich history. Amazing. So yeah. And I need to read something else.
I do think it's quite common, though, for authors to struggle to read at the same time because you are so immersed in your worlds. You know, and you only have so much time. You have all the deadlines. You know, especially if you're on KU and you're able to push those books out quicker with the self-publishing. It's just you know, very demanding. So I think we understand that, right? As readers, we get it. So okay, all right. So this one is for the authors that collaborate together. So that would be Ryan and SR, and then the Twisted Sisters. So for those who collaborate, have you ever argued or disagreed about how a story should end? Yeah.
I'm gonna let Ryan answer that, but yes, we have.
All right.
Are we first?
Okay, you go.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So my heart and soul is Christmas, okay? I love Christmas. I have Christmas lights all down my locker, okay? So we were writing a Christmas book. I told her, if we're gonna write books, we still gotta be able to have some fun Christmas books. I love Hallmark. I watch every Christmas Hallmark movie. I don't care if they're the same, they're the best, okay? And so we're writing a Christmas book, just like a sweet romance. And it gets down to the very end, and she sends me her chapters back. This individual, I'm gonna use the proper words, tried to kill my character off. I sent that back so fast, I said, fix it. But yeah, that was probably our biggest one. Yeah. Oh yeah, she wanted to make him a paraplegic because that's gonna be better. Live his life now as a vegetable.
So have you guys ever seen the movie Me Before You?
Yeah.
So I watched that movie and I bawled my eyes out, and it didn't end because, well, it didn't end the way I thought it was gonna end because, you know, he finally met someone and I thought she was gonna save him, and he still wanted to end his life. So I wanted us to write a version of that where a happy ending, where, you know, he's a paraplegic, but then he does happily ever after. So I was going to make our character a paraplegic to get a different ending. He didn't want to put that in our Christmas book where.
I'm kind of with him on this one, I've got to say. That would have killed me.
I mean, we do fuck with our characters at Christmas most. We've killed people on Christmas Day before. But
Not real people.
The end of the no. We had a curse where someone, but Christmas wasn't a great day. There was a line in the book that was like, who would do this on Christmas? And it's us. But
I think we generally agree, and then there's maybe the odd character we might be like, I want to kill this one, and then the other one's like, oh no, I want to kill this one, and then we
kill them both.
Yeah, brutal. I'm gonna say
we try to be. Sometimes it's not as successful as we wish. I don't think, like the end of the books, we know that when we start what the end will be, we've figured that out. So I don't think the argument wouldn't come then, I suppose.
No, I think the argument comes when someone has written a chapter and then someone has written the after chapter and says, I don't think what has happened in your chapter should happen until later, and you have to rewrite your chapter. So after you've raged, and then the next day you're like, it's fine, I see why.
Yeah, I didn't rage and rage. I huffily moved things around the table and probably slammed my laptop and wandered off for a long walk into the distance.
While I was at the window, like,
and the rain. It was England, so the rain. I wasn't wearing a coat. There was a pigeon playing. There was a pigeon with one leg.
Mustn't forget the
Then I came back and I said, fine, I'll just rewrite all of it. And then I checked and it was probably like 2 paragraphs. And it was fine.
Wow. Okay, so we actually have one more question because we are almost out of time. I can't believe how fast it's gone. This is crazy. Okay, so the last question is, do you prefer to write male or female POVs? And also talk to us about first person and third person writing. What do you prefer to write and what do you prefer to read?
I prefer first person. It's what I'm known more for, and I remember, you know, I was like, no, I'm going to write all 12 books, like just from the female point of view, and then I realized how difficult that actually is to do. But I remember being terrified for the first time that I was going to write from Draven's point of view. But yeah, I think it's, I don't know, it is obviously more natural when you're doing a female point of view, but, you know, I think I'm just used to it now, so.
Well, we write first person for everything. I just like writing all of them. I don't really, male or female doesn't bother me. I like writing the evil characters. I like getting in their heads. You're like, la, I'm a poor FMC, and then you're like, haha, I'm Lionel. So that's fun. And like getting to have the point of view of the bad guy coming for the good guy, and the good guy is just living life thinking it's great. That's nice. Or like the insane character, like when you get, especially like getting towards the end of the books, we start to have like completely random characters that they need to have a say, so that's fun. So yeah, I don't really have a preference.
I think I prefer the guys. I don't know why, I think in the Zodiac series I connect the most with Orion. About his really dark humour is just my humour, and the way he's just like, fuck the world, I just like that. And then I did the Harem boys in Ruthless Boys of Zodiac, and they were all just so different, and they fucking hated each other, and it was just so much fun to like bring their little bromances together, like individually, and then we have like such a diverse, different kinds of characters. Leon's just absolutely mental, so he's really fun to write.
Okay, so you get asked this all the time, but I'm going to do it just because we always want to know, and I hear people ask it all the time to me. Who writes whose POV in Zodiac Academy? From the two of you, because you split it, right? Some of them you do together.
We split, yeah, so I write Tori, Darius, Max, Caleb. We both write Geraldine, both write Lionel. I wrote Justin. Milton. I wrote Washed for book 9. Who else? Yes, we got. And you do yours.
Okay, I do Darcy, Lance, and then I can't think of another one, I've gone blank. Seth and Xavier, they're my 4 mains, and then yeah, we share Geraldine and Lionel, and then some of the other little POVs that come in, we kind of just share them up.
You do Gabriel and but you did them.
But they were from
previous voices,
so
they came over.
So yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of POVs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did Milton too. Everyone was wondering.
So we write first person only, and I would say normally she writes the female perspective, I do the male perspective. Every chapter perspective switch, so you're getting male, female, dual perspective. But that's not always the case. A lot of times I'll also write the female perspective and she'll write the male, just depending on what the scene's about, or if I have extra time or she needs, you know, but.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's really nice having a guy write the male perspective. I know it's been times where he was like, Shalonda, a guy would never say that. And so, but like I said, you know, if I'm writing the female perspective, sometimes going on the scene, it may cross over into the male. And same thing with him, it cross over into the female, just depending on the scene. But I really like having a guy that can write the male perspective, so give it a different voice. So.
I think I'm the lone third person point of view,
and that's because you write typically romance fantasy, right? And that's kind of a popular POV, not for all, obviously you guys do as well, but
No,
do you not think so?
I don't know. I think maybe because growing up, it was all third person point of view. So I think maybe that's just what I got used to.
Right.
I had a really hard time starting to read first person, and I would pick up a book really excited and see it was first person, and I'd put it down and walk away. It was actually Karen Marie Moning, who's one of my favorite authors, who, when she did her Fever series, I was so excited. I went and bought it, and I opened it, and it was first person, and I was like, no! And I was so upset. It took me months to finally read it, and as soon as I opened it, I just devoured it. So that got me into reading first person, but it took a long time. Yeah. But I actually prefer writing the male point of view. Which is,
I think I must have been a bloke in a previous life. I love writing from the male perspective.
Isn't it great?
I love it.
I just love it.
My Unlawful Men series is the guys, Brad, James, Danny. There's the girls in there as well. I think, first of all, first person just comes naturally to me. I've actually written a book in third person that no one knows about, obviously. And I'm just deciding now whether I want to change it to first person. You know, it sounds like a really weird thing to say, but there seems to be different language and sentence structures available to you when you write from a different. Am I right?
Right.
Yeah, I just felt like I was writing differently. It was weird, and now I'm deciding when I want to change it to first. That's a story for another day, but I really enjoy writing from the male perspective, and the first time I did it, it was scarily natural. And I don't know if my husband's back yet, but before I met my husband, and I used to travel a lot, I used to study men in bars, and I used to watch them, how they would act, what they were doing.
With each other.
If they would try and chat you up, like just, just like, I'd lap it up and just like, this isn't going in a book, or that's gross, that's never going in a book. But yeah, I really love writing from the male perspective.
In the name of research.
Yes. Obviously.
Wow. Okay. Well, we are going to break for about 20 minutes, and then we'll come back. So make sure check out the bar if you want to, and think of your questions. If you want to, I'm going to be just hanging out here. So if you want to walk up to me and run them by me, that's great. If not, that's okay too. But think them up, and then we'll line up here in 20 minutes. So we'll meet back. Sorry, I need to talk about it. Sorry. Oh my gosh. We'll meet back in 8:15.
Just like 8 minutes.
8:15. 20 minutes.
And it. Just one. And it. No. Yeah. Okay. And we'll do it again.